And action! Welcome back to another episode of Rip Through a Podcast. Me and Shawnee T flew directly to Melbourne amidst all warnings not to come down here, but we're here.
Yeah, no, we didn't get the email, so we're here. But,
I did get an email, but this guest is worth getting coronavirus. I don't
you
care.
told me on Tuesday we have to book flights, and I wasn't necessarily overly keen on it because apparently you have to cancel all non-essential flights, but this was essential.
We funded it ourselves though, so thanks to our sponsors for looking after us. We are currently at AFL House.
Yes.
Self-funded trip, but it's all worth it. Hopefully get some views and you guys tune in. This guy pumps me up on his Instagram. But let's get stuck in today. We've got
100%.
limited time with this guy. His money is very, very expensive to get him on these kind of things. He's 24 years of age, 92 kilograms, 6'5" in the old language. That's pretty big.
No, that's not bad.
He's a tall midfielder.
He's a big midfielder.
He's played 101 games according to Wikipedia. That could be wrong. I don't know. Though you seem to always get that wrong. We got Patrick Cripps.
Yeah.
Thanks, boys.
Well done, mate. We'll rip through this because I know you got somewhere to be.
And we know you don't miss an episode, so we appreciate you coming.
He knows the
in.
intro. He knows the intro. So two-time All-Australian, okay? So this is going to go for a while. Two times All-Australian, three-time Best and Fairest winner. I think he's second youngest at the Carlton history to win a Best and Fairest. I don't know who else would have done that.
Damn.
Do you know who did it?
Big John.
John Nichols.
John
Yeah, whatever. He's
taller than him, though.
He's taller than him, so he's got that over him already. Rising star runner-up, should have won it that year. AFLPA Lee Matthews Trophy, that's a pretty big thing to win. He's been Carlton Co-Captain since 2019. He has his own haircut, the Cripper haircut, because obviously I'm a barber. So I do, a couple of boys after the Cripper.
You know what's going on.
I know how to do it. He's gorgeous. And he's finally changed his profile picture on Instagram, which I've been waiting for a long time to happen. And are you still private or?
Nah, I'm back to public. No, it's been a while, mate, so...
what are we doing, fist bumps or just air fives?
A little elbow touches.
Elbow touches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, make sure.
It's a
We
bit
fist bumped
hectic.
beforehand when we came
I do
in.
appreciate you coming in today because this is a big deal. Obviously, a few people have cancelled on us because...
Well, we didn't know whether AFL House was going to be open. We were a bit nervous because everywhere's just closing, you know what I mean? Everywhere's closed, but the doors are open.
How you been, Cripper?
Good, mate.
Cripper, big dripper.
Big dripper, yeah. Mate, the world's going mad at the moment.
It has.
Pretty crazy, but...
Have you been paying attention to this stuff? Obviously, we have been because a lot of stuff's been going on around us, including trying to get you guys in and that. But have you been watching much or you just going with the flow?
I've sort of been going with the flow, thinking it's a fair way away.
Yeah.
Then you start hearing, especially yesterday with Rudy Gobert in the NBA, it starts coming pretty real. And then
Don't touch these microphones.
I don't know, it's just everyone's sort of the toilet paper thing was throwing me out a bit. I thought that's a bit of an overreaction, but
but now I feel a bit silly because I was like, what are these idiots doing? It's actually toilet paper, fighting each other for it.
2 weeks behind now.
Now things get to Brisbane a bit later, so now
jump in the shower, boys.
Where were you when you found out about the NBA stuff? Where were you?
I was at the club. We got a message from the club, so more just a restriction around fans and appearances and stuff like that. I know a few clubs have done that now, and when I got that, I was like, it is getting pretty real now, and I don't know. It's one of those things that you don't know what's going to happen the next couple of weeks with the AFL season, but by the sounds of it, you got to be careful with it. But
if it happens, it happens type thing, right?
Yeah, it just is what it is. But I never thought in my lifetime I'd see something like this happen. But here we are, and.
So here you guys are getting ready for probably the biggest game of some of your teammates' careers, round one next week, and a possibility like the NBA. So the way they did it was we'll can no more fans and stuff in the stadiums, and then seriously next minute on they cancelled it or suspended the season for indefinitely. So if that's a possibility, what's that feel like not being able to rock up and play round one next week if that actually happened?
I don't know. I was talking to a few of the new boys and I was just pumping up how good he's playing in front of 90,000. Now we might run out and might hear him pin drop. So I tried to recruit him all year for no reason.
Oh shit! It's like interclubs, right?
Have the players been talking about it though? Are the players talking about the possibility of not playing games?
Not really. Because it hasn't seemed like reality. We thought, the odd person can get it. It's more affected the older people and the higher blood pressure apparently. That's where they're pretty susceptible to it. But I haven't thought it's going to be a thing. Yeah. So the possibility of not playing a game or playing in front of no one's only come to light literally 24 hours ago. It's crazy. Because what's been cancelled so far, NHL. Formula One's been cancelled today. This morning, we're recording this on the Friday.
Yeah.
And we're at AFL House now, where we'll probably find out something in about a couple of hours or so, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well,
but I haven't thought about it at all.
Literally 20 minutes ago, the Formula One was cancelled. So,
so I haven't thought about this at all. It's news to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. I might have to drive across the Nullarbor back home. I think I'm not doing an extra pre-season.
No intra-club
Imagine
matches.
that. Have to do a couple more. Just we'll do another pre-season, boys. I'm like, yeah, and here's my retirement forms. Thanks for having me, Brisbane Lions. I appreciate you. So we'll get stuck in your childhood, actually. So, born in Perth,
Yep.
and then you moved to Northampton, and obviously went back to Perth to do your footballing. I guess you bought it. Did you bought it back in Perth? Yeah. So run us through Northampton. What is that like? I know we might have played a. Did we play a pracky match there one time?
You might.
Was that Bundaberg?
No, maybe Bunbury.
Bunbury.
Yeah. So grew up in Northampton, which is 500 k's north of Perth on the coast.
Yeah.
There's a bigger town called Geraldton, which has about 35.
That's where
40
Jeffy Nat's from.
Yeah. So grew up there, and so grew up on a farm, wheat sheep, bit of canola.
Wheat canola.
Yeah.
That's what Google
Good
told
stuff,
me.
mate.
So run me through what wheat canola is, because that's news to me.
No, it's just cropping. So wheat's just obviously, you surely know what a bit of wheat is.
Yep.
And then basically make flour out of that.
Oh, yeah, all over it.
Yeah,
And then
All over
canola.
it. You're sweet. You can go live there.
Big canola oil, mate. So,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Can't cook without farmers, mate. So basically putting food in everyone's plate. But so I grew up there. I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Good weather. On the coast as well. So I used to go surfing, fishing, crayfishing, all the little hobby things you can do. Then you got the shooting, motorbike riding. So everything outdoors basically. And then when I was 12, went to boarding school.
12?
Yeah, so parents obviously didn't rate me.
Yeah,
So.
no, get out of our house. Grow up, kid.
Yeah.
Rough.
So my older brother was already there. So that was 2008. But that was awesome. Like, it was hard at the start. Like any kid that gone to boarding school, you move away from home, and it's not ideal at the start. But once you actually settle in, like you're around the boys all the time. You get up to a bit of mischief.
As you do.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And did 5 years there, and then had a year out of school playing Colts footy at East Freo before I got picked up. So that was a fun year, that one.
So, 12 years old, and your parents going, hey, we do love you, but it's probably the best thing for you. Was there no schools in Northampton, or they just thought this is the best thing for you? Because, you have to grow up pretty quick at 12.
Yeah, no, you do. Well, Geraldton was 50 minutes from our farm.
Okay.
And if I had to go there, I would have board it anyway. So there's some really good schools there, but more just to meet some really interesting people, broaden your network a bit.
Yeah.
Old man went to the same school. Henry went for a year, went back to Geraldton, and he regretted that. So he's like, I'm going to send all my boys. Yeah. Well, we had to have a daughter. I'm going to send them to boarding school. So he did 5 years there, and definitely, in terms of moving into state, that helped me heaps. Just hard at the start, but it's without knowing this, it's actually building resilience. You're doing things for yourself, communicate with all different type of people. So, it was pretty cool.
Did you live off that noodle life at school, or was that a bit more when you're a bit older?
Bit of Megarang, mate.
Shout out Megarang. They are possibly a big sponsor for us going forward.
Maggie's.
So you have a cousin who currently plays, Jamie Cripps.
Yeah.
Did you have much to do with him growing up? Was it kind of different areas?
No, so his farm was 10 minutes from mine.
Oh,
they sold, not 100%, might have been 2010 or something.
Yeah.
He went to boarding school in Geraldton, so me and my older brother went to Perth.
And look at your career versus his. That's probably,
He's had a pretty good year.
Has he won a grand final?
He's won a flag, mate. So
Damn!
He's ahead of me.
okay.
He's ahead of me.
Yeah, no, don't have 2 jackets, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
We all play for a flag.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that too.
But nah, more family friends. Like we're
Yeah.
really good family friends with them, and Jason and Lisa, his parents, we get on really well with. So they got a holiday place. There's a little town near Northampton called Horrocks. So they got a nice house up there. So stayed there a few times with them. So we're not we're more good mates than cousins. Because my old man, his old man are first cousins, so we're third cousins. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm Tasmanian, mate. I know all about this situation. Don't you worry.
Cripps is in Northampton, mate. We're everywhere. We were everywhere. So a few people reckon a few inbreds go around Northampton.
Yeah.
But I tend to disagree.
And you got another famous cousin, obviously Chris Mainwaring, rest in peace. Were you guys close with him much at all? Did you get to see him growing up? Obviously a pretty good player himself, and what he went through was a little bit tough towards the end there. Did you have much to do with him as a kid, or?
Yeah, I had a little bit to do with him. My old man was really close. So Mainie's mum was a Cripps.
Yeah.
So obviously his mum and my pop were brother and sister.
Yeah.
So my old man was really close to him. They grew up together. I still remember the day he actually passed away. I was helping the old man out in the shearing shed. I was year 7. I remember my old man going out on the phone, and he come back in. Obviously not in a good spot.
Yeah.
So that was sad, but I didn't really know the magnitude of it. I was still pretty young.
Yeah.
But the old man did the eulogy at the wedding, so
true.
That was obviously probably the first funeral I've been to, and I think I was 11 or 12, something like that. So I didn't have a lot to do with him, but as you get older and you realise, you start learning about his history and how good he was. Apparently he's a legend, and obviously get a kick, the big fella, which is
bloody oath he could. It's in the blood. That something going on up there in Northampton, I'm pretty sure. So let's go to your draft year, or just before your draft year. So I've done a little bit of research. So obviously we both know Swanee pretty well. Big Greg Swan and Shane Rogers. Like, shout out Shane Rogers who drafted me as well. Shane O probably put his neck on the line for probably both of us, really. Well, more me than you. But draft year, you went to camp. So this is not the Patrick Cripps we're seeing now, like the big buff, handsome. Oh, you're probably still handsome, but no, looking good. How'd your 3K go? And I've got a couple of stories here that I've seen before, but like, so you came last in the 3K.
Yep, by a long way.
Were you thinking what was your thought process?
Had you done one prior to that? Like, is that?
I'd done one, but to be honest, like my first year out of school, I was living with my older brother. Like, basically whatever I could get my hands on to eat, I would.
Yeah.
Living off a uni budget, went out most weekends with the boys. So.
Yeah, the boys.
It's definitely a bit heavy around the gills. And then obviously, so draft camp, I remember I got Josh Kelly actually lapped me. Basically, I just finished the 3K and actually came in here with you boys. So it was at Marvel.
Was it here, was it?
It was here, so I just went straight in.
Oh, shit.
No, that was probably the toughest last lap of my life. You look back and it's pretty funny though. Like it's,
yeah.
I think I ran 11:55 my 3K. Matt Crouch was the next one. I think he ran like 11.
Matt Crouch.
20.
Wow.
So it was us, and then all the rest were, they're like
yeah.
like rabbits, mate. Those fucking zingers.
It's ridiculous. It's naked sweat. It's fine.
And I think Josh K ran like a 9:30. So when he finished his fifth lap and I finished my fourth, I was just that close, just acting like I was just behind him.
Yeah, you got a photo finish. You should have been like,
yeah.
"Oh, Cripps comes second. That's amazing."
You would have played it.
No, he came dead last, brother. Because I saw some stuff, and obviously we'll talk about your draft year next. But like Greg Swan was like talking to Shane. Are you sure? Like they must have gone in preempted thinking that's our guy. Like they would have known you pretty well. Shane does some great work. So Swanee's gone. Are you sure you want to draft that fat kid? So that's what I was seeing. And Shane's like, yes, I do.
Yeah, I still remember Shane giving me a call. I was at uni about 3 weeks later. I got a call from him, and he's like, mate, you just got to just back me in here. Like, if we draft, just tell me your diet's been shit all year. I was like, look, mate, I can't say I know too much about diet. I just eat what I get.
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear. And I was like, mate, if you draft me, like, I'm pretty keen to come. I won't let you down.
Yeah. So being a WA boy, were you just saying what they wanted to hear? Like, oh, yeah, I'll go to Melbourne, do a couple of years there and come back? Because apparently old big Nick Nat was like, look, I'm just going to come back to WA anyway. And the Judd factor as well, how he's a Melbourne boy. He told West Coast early days, look, I'll come play there for a little bit, but I'll go home. Was that in your mind? Like, did you have inspirations of playing in WA? Or was it just like, you know what, I've bought it here. I know what it's like to live away from family. Like, it doesn't bother me. Was that?
I didn't really bother me. I think, like, at the start of the year, I was nowhere near getting drafted in my draft year. Like, I wouldn't even be. Yeah, I was like, I come from the clouds, really. And then I knew sort of midway through the year I was going to get picked up. Started the year all right. Then I knew Eagles were really keen on Dom Sheed, and that was pick 11.
Yeah.
So I just knew I wasn't going to go to a WA club.
Okay.
And then at the same time, it's like, well, if someone gives me the opportunity to play, I'm not going to get homesick. I'll give it a good crack there. So that sort of was my thinking around it. I sort of knew I wasn't going to stay home. I think if I, say at the start of the year, if I knew I was going to get picked up and the possibility of staying at WA was there, you'd probably take that just because you're your mates and your family there. But I'm glad that happened. Even though Eagles won a flag, everything happens sort of for a reason. And
don't worry, mate. Richmond offered me 1 year and they won 2 flags. I took the Brisbane deal, so
is that right?
The silver lining's still there. I can see it.
I was actually on a podcast with I did a thing with Bucks the other day, and he goes, "Do you realise that Eagles had pick 11, they won a flag. Richmond had pick 12, they won 2 flags now.
Pick 13.
You're pick 13, and GRS was pick 14. They made the grand final last year." I said, "Yeah, mate, next question."
All the Carlton fans out there, your time's next. That's what he's trying to allude to. All right.
Would you rather go through, because I think you came on record saying this last year, that you want to go through those hard times and win it knowing the value of it, because you've had to go through the struggles. Like, I remember you came out and said that last year. Like, so that's kind of what your mindset.
Yeah, like it's obviously you'd rather just win 15 in a row, but it's just not possible. I think if I won one now, let's say this year, compared to one in my first year, the appreciation of it would be so much higher now, just from what I've been through and what the club's been through. But the thing is, you could give it your all for your whole career, and there's still a high chance you might not win one. You know what I mean? It's 18 clubs, it's bloody hard to win. So I think what's special, and I look at what Robbo and the Lions have done. Like, you got a core group there that's come from the bottom. You get really close. You become really good mates, and you work towards a common goal. Even last year they didn't win it, but I'm sure they'd had a bloody fun year. That's sort of what you, especially when you get in a leadership position, you want to create that culture where everyone wants to be there. You're having fun. You're working hard together, and then you want to slowly, hopefully, quickly get up the ladder. But you just never know. So I think that's something that all people sort of want. They want that connection with people, and they want to be part of something and be part of building something. So, but like I said, it's not just going to happen. It's sort of
there's no guarantee
process.
though.
Yeah.
Like as you said, obviously winning's a lot easier than losing. But even at Brisbane, it was like us and you guys who were like bottom couple ladder. So we understand what it's like to go through that stuff. And when we finally made finals, although we didn't win a final, that experience and the taste of it, like, just is going to drive the boys even more. And we get linked to, like, we could be the Melbourne of last year and go back down the ladder and stuff. But the drive that we had in the preseason was ridiculous. Like, I haven't been involved in that for a long time. So you can't rest on your laurels and get through on that because, as you said, it's a tight-ass competition. Any team can shoot up ladder, as we showed. So hopefully it gives faith to a few of the boys. And, the Blues have got some exciting stuff going with Eddie coming back. And hasn't he been...
Yeah. And my boy Jack Martin.
Jack Martin, he won't shuffle that Jack Martin.
Mate, he's coming, I'm telling you. Like, he's...
Is that the slogan? Jack Martin, he's coming.
Mate, watch him. Well, literally, how's he been going, actually? Can I ask? How's he been?
No, I'm on the same bandwagon as you.
Yeah, good.
I'll jump on soon when I see it.
I played stat school was with him when I was 15. And he was like, then he was just like, he's a freak.
Yeah.
And I always knew the potential he had. But he's hit, like, he at training, like, he hits hard. Like, he tackles bloody hard. He's like, goes in after the pure. Like, everyone sees he's like the real nice skills and that, but he's a competitor, which I love.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna thrive in a new system. Saying that though, he still played some bloody good footy up on the Gold Coast, which people don't realise. I think he finished third in their BNF one year.
He did, yeah.
He realises, trust me, he was there and he was like, oh, he's the next best thing. He just needs a fresh start.
Yeah.
So when it happened, he was like, I can't do it on camera. He's like, oh.
I said the same thing about Archie though as well at Brisbane.
Yeah, he's actually okay. You're 2 from 2.
So now I'm excited to see what the big fella does. So hopefully he turns it on. But next week in front of 0
in front of either 95,000 or 0 or nothing. We'll find out soon. Let's get into your first year. We've got about half an hour left for the big dog. First year. So my take on you coming into the system, I don't want to be that guy, but I was like, his first game debuted against Melbourne. I think he actually might have finished with 17 touches, but it was like his first touch, which for a lot of players this involves. First touch, had the ball for an eternity, thought he had eternity, got chased down, tackled. I was like, oh, shit, man, this is going to be tough for this bloke. 13th pick, a lot of pressure came on him in the club, got a couple of games. Can you run me through your debut and what your thought and how you were going to go? Obviously, you had like these reports that he was overweight, he wasn't fit and stuff. Obviously, you knew that you were a pretty good player, let's be honest. Everyone knows that they got some heart in them. Run us through like your first couple of games at the Blues, and then we'll talk about that off-season.
Yeah, like you got the club. I remember went to America first trip. I went to Flagstaff. So that was early on. I still remember it snowed there. Our first training session.
Mate,
my suitcase didn't rock up for the first 2 days. So I'm sitting there training in bloody everyone's leftovers. Had to wear my jocks about 4 different ways. I reckon.
No, nothing wrong with that.
That's where coronavirus started. And then, so that was my second week at the club. So I'm going from like this young country boy doing uni to all of a sudden I'm mixed with everyone in Flagstaff, freezing cold.
Do you remember who you roomed with?
Yeah, Simo and Lukey Reynolds.
Lukey Reynolds,
yeah,
wow.
And then that was a pretty cool trip. It was bloody hard.
It was a good trip.
And then obviously fast forward to the start of the year, I didn't play round one. I played VFL round one, and I actually had a really good game in the VFL. It was against Williamstown. And that's all good. That was my first game against like men, so
Because you came from Colts, right?
Yeah, so that gave me a fair bit of confidence that you can sort of match it. We won that game. The next week, got picked, played Melbourne, and that was pretty cool. Like, obviously, debut. I remember running out and just like run out in the G, and I was like, "Far out, this is dream come true now."
Yeah.
It was a rough day that one. We ended up losing, and that was when Melbourne were right down the bottom of the ladder. We were 0-3 going into that game. And yes, I remember pre-game, Mick goes to me, Mick Moldus, he goes,
"Yes, Mick."
He goes, "All right, the game's very quick early on. Like, you don't have much time with the ball to get rid of it pretty quick." And yeah, it was in the first 3 minutes. I remember I broke out the wing from a centre bounce, got on untested mark, played on. A few guys were leading at me. I was like, how good's this? Got that much time on the G, like taking it all in. And as I went to kick it, just got drilled by Jake and Harris.
Shout out Jake and Harris.
And yeah, it was just a pretty funny moment when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then it was funny enough though. Later in that game, I actually got the ball on the halfback flank, and I actually took 4 bounces down the wing, which I've never done.
Look
in my whole
out!
career.
Here we go.
Young Patrick Cripps is still young as fuck, but
Actually, I probably rolled down the wing.
I did have a little bit of humping and surfing.
So like, I'll never ever do that again. Take 4 bounces in a row on an AFL game. But we ended up losing that game, and I still remember like walking down the race, and just here's me like still up and about because I played my first game, and we're just getting absolutely abused walking down the race. Like,
wow.
It was
throwing their scarves, memberships.
Memberships. Like,
thank God I was in the grandstands that game. That was awesome.
I was sitting there.
You were in there.
I was suspended. I was killing it.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. But it's pretty like it's crazy. At one point, it also shows how much passion some of the supporters got, which I sort of like. But yeah, I'd rather not get a membership thrown at me top of my head.
So how many games did you play that year?
I played 3 because I broke my leg.
Yeah,
I played 2, got dropped. Broke my leg and then came back for the last game. So my first year I played in a win, lost in a draw. So
you've done it all.
Could be a bit of trivia.
You could have retired. You go like who in their career? This could be the thing when we post it out. Who in their career has won a game, lost a game, and drawn a game in the first 3 games of the year in the debut year? Patrick Cripps.
Patrick Cripps. Absolutely. What were your thoughts in the stands watching?
Yeah, I was probably being haggled and stuff by the Melbourne supporters at that time. But other than that, like when I saw it, like he had a good day. It's just the first few touches. I was like, fuck, he's a bit behind the 8 ball here. Then little did I know, at the end of that year, I got delisted by Cole, and everyone kind of knows about that. And then I was like, yeah, he's got no chance. And then the year after, I was tagging him.
Yeah, wow.
Tagging him the year after.
I remember you said that.
That's what I want to know. What the fuck? Yeah. I'll start again. What did you get up to in your off season? Like, because you must have had because every player goes through the exit review and stuff that end of the year, like the talk about the season and how you went. What was your instructions or your individualized program stuff going to that offie? Because you came back the next year, absolute beast, which started the Patrick Cripps we know today.
Yeah, I was back on doing a bit of hard labour. I cannot want to eat. No, I've always been a pretty determined person. So when I set a goal or something I want to get out, I'm pretty fixed on doing that. And I was just, like I said, I was carrying a bit of extra weight. Like when I say extra weight, I wouldn't say I was fat in general, probably, but in terms of the AFL lifestyle, like I was on the top end.
Bit of Jared Waite.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. So I went away. I just went really strict on my diet, to the point where I wouldn't do that now, but I sort of had to do that.
Yeah.
Did that. It was really just followed my program, and then I hired a sprints coach and did 2 extra sessions a week doing that.
Do you want to give him a shout out?
Yeah, Mark Neitz. He did a bloody good job, actually.
Yeah, Neatsy.
Yeah. That's why I probably had him before that when I took 4 bounces down the wing, but
probably went downhill once I started working with him.
So I left the club at 94. I come back at 89, so lost 5 kilos.
Oh, shit.
So I just 5 kilos is a massive difference,
and
that was basically all
base.
fat. I actually lost a bit of muscle, basically because I went a bit too strict with it all.
Yeah.
But that set my career up. Bit of advice from some other guy. Andrew Walker helped me out heaps with diet wise,
and he's probably the most ripped bloke you've ever met.
Yeah, he was shredded, and just the way he lived was awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's Juddy gave me a few tips, and then Mick Jamison was also good. So they're the 3 guys that I probably had a lot to do with, and more just advice before I went away. And it was just up to me to actually do the work. Came back, when you're carrying 5 less kilos around, your time trials go down heaps. So I did around 11:55. So back down to
11:32.
Yeah, back down to 2K, which is more my distance.
Oh, 2K. Yeah, I miss those.
The dream. So that was good. And then I remember playing NAB, I think it was a NAB Cup then. Played Collingwood out, I don't know where it was, but had about 20 touches and had an all right game. Then I played Geelong at Etihad in the pre-season, I think I had 33. And then I was like, far out, I'm starting to get the real confidence that I belong. Yeah. And then it's funny that year, I actually got dropped round 2.
Really?
Yeah, my second year. Dropped round 2. We played in Perth, and then we actually got flogged by the Eagles.
Oh, so you missed the Perth game.
Yeah.
So you would have been pretty flat about that.
Yeah, the family come up. It was a late out. But that's all right. I look back, there's probably a moment that could have
shifted.
Defining sort of moment.
Yeah.
Played at Essendon the week after, and we played at St Kilda in, I think it was Wellington. I think it's Wellington.
Oh, over there.
Yeah. What do they call it? The cake?
In New Zealand?
Cake tin or something like that.
In New Zealand, right?
Yeah. And I had, as my sort of was my breakout game. That's where my confidence level was just like,
So
all right.
what were your stats? You know.
33 that game, I think, Robbo, to go.
Oh, damn!
Get it?
In his second year, mind you.
So that was the one where I was like, I don't know, you always have that game where you're like, I feel like I belong out here now. And then after that, you just, as you keep working on your game, your confidence keeps going. And that's sort of where my career sort of took off, I reckon.
So from that game onwards, you just kept doing your thing. You became a contested BCUR, contested mark, clearances. I tagged you. I think we beat you. Maybe I don't know. I can't remember. You won the best and fairest that year. Like, run us through that. Like, that's your second year of footy. You've gone from a fat kid. I can't stop saying. You've gone from a good-looking young kid who had a little bit of weight on to winning your best and fairest second year. Like, how'd that go down that night? You must have been overawed. Like, the feeling would have been ridiculous, right? Like, surely.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment.
Surely, man. You won the best and fairest. Like, your second youngest ever.
Yeah,
at the Carlton Blues.
I went pretty hard that night. It was
surely.
Yeah.
Did you get to spot the crown or nah?
No, I went in. I was like, I might be up in the top 5. Like, you just never know.
Yeah,
and then I actually won on the last vote of the night. Yeah. And I was actually flying out to America the next day early, but I didn't get much sleep. I just went.
Sat on the plane.
Had a big night and ended up sleeping on the plane. But that was probably one of the most special moments in my career in terms of I was 20 at the time. Didn't really think you were going to win it. Won at the last vote. So it's just like happened all at once. Family were over, so it ended up being awesome. So it was just like it was. You look back, it was just
kind of a pat in the back as well. Like,
it was more a bit of reward. Like, you make a few sacrifices. You set yourself a goal. You actually work hard towards it. The rewards come after, and I've always been big on that in my career. Like, it's like obviously you got to have a good time, but firstly you got to put the work in first. And like I enjoy going out, enjoy being social and that, but. If that gets in the road of the actual work you put in, then you got it wrong. So
it's a blueprint for like the young kids coming up, especially like I know it's probably pretty hard to get in contact with you, but like the young kids who get drafted and they might like I struggled big time in professionalism, like coming from Lauderdale, like just you get paid $20, put it back over the bar, go out, have fun, getting the dust up, whatever. Yeah. Going from that to AFL, like that was the biggest eye opener for me. And it took me like 3 to 4 years till I figured out, okay, it's AFL, it's a lot different than what you think and what you have to do to make it in the AFL. Like I think the average career is like 4 years and a handful of games. So
when did it click for you? When did you actually realise?
When I got delisted.
That was the moment.
So I had things in place all the way late. Like Juddy tried to take me aside, be my mentor. The club did everything they could for me. It's just like till they said, "Nah, you're not going to be next year." I was like, "Well,
that was it.
This is it." So that was my moment. But that's crazy. So you won the best and fairest in your first year, 2016. Number 1 in the AFL for clearances, 8.8 a game. Number 2 in the AFL for contested possessions, average 27 disposals. Like you're going forward and forward. 2016, another great year. Run us through 2017 because I know like how much time we have. We have 20 minutes still. 2017, like that was probably a big year for you in terms of resilience and knowing what you can and can't do. You had a back injury all year from carrying the team. Oh no, I take that back. You had a back injury, obviously. You broke your leg again. Was it the same leg or a different leg?
Don't know. That was the same leg. Yeah.
Same leg.
Yeah.
15 games. Was that a bit like? How was that for you that year, 2017?
Yeah, it was tough because I came back and I was in like I worked bloody hard over the break. It was too hard because actually I broke down.
Yeah.
I come back in the best nick I'd been in after my 3rd year.
Is that something you've had to? Because obviously you've been a hard worker since that first offie.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've had to continue to work on? Because I've seen it. Like you're a hard worker, obviously in game and stuff, but you seem to be bandaged up every game, man. Like you just work to the nth degree. Is that something you have to work on? Or
I've definitely I've sort of I don't know, they say work smarter not harder.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Definitely you learn that as you go though. Like you're constantly learning. Like I'm still learning now about things at work and you're trying to change things up. So instead of like absolutely busting my balls in the off season now, it's more a chance to actually recover and just get your base fitness and then your pre-seasons that. But I still reckon early days when you're making your way, you got to go hard in that sort of break. Yeah. That sort of sets you up.
Yeah.
But that was a tough year. So I come back, I ended up having a stress fracture in my back, which was flattening. So I missed 3 months. I couldn't run or lift weights for 6 weeks. Had to monitor how many steps I did.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty common injury, the young footy players and cricketers, and even tennis players apparently. So it's one of those ones you got to be patient and actually let it heal. Otherwise, it can give you a lot of problems down the track. So I got that right, and then obviously you played this start of the year, you're a bit underdone. Remember round 2 against Melbourne, I broke my jaw and my ribs that game.
What?
Yeah, so I played.
What happened?
Oh, I remember.
Who was it? We'll go find him.
No comment, mate.
Who was it? North Melbourne?
Nah, against Melbourne. But the ribs, I remember going
If
back
it's
for
Gorney, we'll talk to him after.
Gorney.
Was it Gorney?
Nah, mate.
I was going
I was going to say, we'll talk to him in about an hour.
Let him know.
No, I just went up from Mark and got a knee in the ribs, and I remember sitting in the rooms after the game. I was like, "Oh, that hurt."
Yeah.
Like I couldn't really breathe that well. And next day I get in the club, I was like, "Look, I reckon I need to get extra on my ribs. They're bloody sore." Just because when you laugh or you cough,
Yeah, it's not the same.
So I did that. Had a couple of broken ribs, but one of those things like I wasn't going to not play.
Yeah.
As long as there was no risk of punching on your lung. So ended up playing. I played all the year with that, and then I remember I re-broke him later the year. I was wearing this guard to try and protect him.
I think I actually remember feeling that, man.
I took that off because I was like, oh, they're fine now. Then I was against Gold Coast, first bump of the game. I lined someone up as like a bumper bar, thinking I'm a big unit, and just cracked him again. The whole game was in agony.
You fell straight away like, oh, that's not great.
Yeah, so I did that again. But then the week after that, I remember Jaden Hunt went for a kick. I went to smother him, smothered the ball, but his leg followed through, hit me in the leg, nearly kicked my leg in orbit. He's a powerful unit. That snapped my fibula, and then I was done for the year. So I had 4 broken bones that year. I'm starting to think, geez, I made a chalk here. Like, I need to drink a bit more milk or eat a bit more yogurt. But
so so that's obviously you're going through a few bit of injuries there, and like I know you've pushed yourself probably more than you had to. Do you feel like you have to kind of be out there, like in terms of where the team's at, and obviously where you're at in your career? Obviously, one of the best players in the league, let alone Carlton. Do you feel like a sense of I have to be out there? Was that what you were going through mental wise, or were you like I just want to play?
No, I just want to play. Like I love playing.
Yeah.
It was hard. It's more after the game. Like you're bloody sore for like the first few days.
No, you can't walk.
But yeah, I was like, I just wanted to play, and you get 6 months off a year, basically not playing. So when you can actually compete, you want to play. Yeah. So if you like, it's like you have to be. It's only got to be something that's going to hurt you long term, or like it's not worth playing for not to play. Otherwise, you try and find a way.
It's more like soft tissue stuff that stop you from playing these days. Like bones can heal, obviously.
Yeah.
Like if you can't physically run, if it's a soft tissue cuff or hammy, then they pull a pin pretty quick. These boys.
So what was it like going into the summer? Because obviously you've got all those injuries. You've got to make sure that you're physically recovering, but mentally, like, were there some doubts that you had to try and overcome as well? Because I could imagine it would have been pretty frustrating, having to go through such a injury-ravaged year to the point where you're going into the summer almost wanting that clean slate. Like, there's some players that just beg for the preseason because you just want a clean slate.
And the next year you had a pretty big run, so it must have happened.
I know. I've always seen like positive things and like, is what it is. I just use the rest of that to actually just because I had another 8 rounds before the off season, so I just use that basically. I didn't really train that hard. Then I was like, let the leg recover. Just tried to really enjoy spending the footy system, help out a few of the young guys.
Is that where your leadership? Do you reckon you kind of started turning?
That and probably the start of 2018.
Okay.
Oh no, probably in 20. Probably. But I'm always like, you try and see the positive. Like footy's a game where you're going to get injuries, so like you said, it builds a bit of resilience. But I just tried to have a bit of fun that back half the year, and then I really set myself in the off season, started to get going, doing my rehab, and that really drives. Like when you don't miss a few games, you actually itching for the preseason, so which is surprising. But then I had a really big motivation. It's like, all right, I want to take my game to the next level here. And you start working on different craft things, different bits of running, try and find different things with your body that you think might work, and but you do that every year. But that year especially, because I hadn't played for a while, you're extra motivated.
Yeah.
So going into that, you've obviously trained your ass off in that preseason, yada yada. 2018 is probably your biggest year accolade wise. First All-Australian jacket, thoroughly deserved it. Best and fairest, second in the AFLPA voting, so that's voted by the players. You signed a big contract, hopefully millions of dollars because you earned it. The thing is, like, he's set the most record for contested possessions in the season, and I think he did in the last game as well. So you beat Patrick Cripps in the last game. You needed 23 or 24? Yeah. You needed 23 and you got 24.
Yeah, I remember, like...
So you set a record, man.
You never go for him, but I remember 2 rounds ago, I needed 34 to win, and I was like, I'm going to have a crack at this. Like,
surely. Rotations go out the window. You're staying on the ground.
To be honest, I wouldn't say I have a crack. I just say I'm going to...
If you see the ball, you
I'm going to go for it. The week before, I think I had 11 or 12, so I was like, this might be out of my reach here. And then I just played the last game. We ended up getting pumped by Adelaide, but it's like when you're competitive, you just go right to the end.
Yeah.
then you feel like you earn a beer at the end of the season. And I actually didn't know out in the ground. And then after the game, someone said, "Oh, you had 24 tested." I was like, "Yeah, that's
it.
right."
You like just set a record, man. Like I couldn't have imagined that. Like 24.
Yeah.
Actually, I've had 26 before, but
But
24.
I still think that record's breakable. Like it's the way the AFL's going. It's a contested game.
Well, possession-wise, it's just getting more and more. Like blokes in the bloody preseason games getting 40 odds, and so I see that this year. Like it's pretty standard. Someone's might be.
Yeah.
I think contested possessions are like there's only 3 to 4 blokes who can do that. I reckon.
Yeah, like in Dangerfield's obviously
Dangerfield,
a freak.
Josh Kennedy, Fife, and
mate, Lockie Neal.
And Lockie Neal, yeah.
He, like even that game in the preseason, the big fella, the real deal
he had
Neal.
45 or so.
Yeah, he had 40 and then like 27 contested. Like that's scary numbers, 27 contested. So
run us through that year. You've obviously set the AFL world on fire, but on the flip side, the Carlton Blues have only won 2 games. Is that something like? I know you got your driving factors. Everyone's got their personal goals. We set our own goals start of the year. Your leadership's coming through the roof now. You're starting to be the best player in the comp, set on these records, breaking all these things. You get voted into the leadership group the next year, I think 29. Was that the year? 2018
so
2019?
2018 I was vice captain.
Vice captain.
Yeah, and then but Murph was injured most of that year, so Nat actually
so
led the boys most of the year. Doc was also injured; he was the joint vice.
Yeah.
That was a tough year of my footy career by mile. We only won 2 games, probably average a losing margin of about 8 goals, I reckon. Like, we're getting pumped every week, and that's when you started. Your mind definitely drifts like would it be better if you do go home? Or
because you signed the deal that year. I've had that.
Yeah.
Every player has it. If they're going to tell, like we tell the media one thing, like, oh, you know, my heart's set here. I'm going to be here for the rest of my career. Behind the scenes, we have managers who do that work for you. Like they will say, look, this team's interested, that team's interested. What are you thinking? So you don't really talk to anyone till the end of the year unless you're like set on leaving. But you signed a probably 3 or 4 year deal.
I think it was. I had a year to go. I signed an extra 3. I think.
Yeah,
so,
extra 3. Did you have like so that year? You're the best player in the combo, I reckon. Did you? You would have had other teams knocking on your door, surely.
Yeah, I would have. I didn't really explore it too much, just because I felt like I'd done so much hard work in the first 5 years, and I hadn't really got seen benefit of like the group that we had been building. But like I said, like after games and you get pumped, like, you might always just say it's just the like human emotion. Like you always think far out, how much longer to do it, and then get to Monday, you do a review, then you start getting optimistic again. It's like, no, we can beat this team next week, and then you recorrect yourself. So that's pretty normal. But that was a tough year. But like individually, obviously had a really strong year. But I probably learned a lot that year that I needed things outside of footy to just to balance life.
Run us through that. What's big Patrick Cripps doing off field these days? I know you got a beautiful girlfriend. Still.
Yeah, beautiful mom.
Good.
Got her. No, I went and started going surfing with my older brother. So he moved over, started 2018, which is really good for me.
Jeez, you've been hanging out with the Kerno boys, right?
Yeah, the Kerno boys, in the green room.
Yeah.
Green
room, if you don't know, I'm actually a bodyboarder by my past. It's called when you get in the barrel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I can't say I've really experienced a green room. More
6'5", like, he's going to get pretty low.
When the whitewash is going straight, you bust right. I got into that, and I'm real close to my older brother, so he was really good.
Is that Daniel?
Yeah.
Shout out Daniel, who didn't reply to me. A little bit pissed off, but, you know, you obviously got bigger things being, you know, the brother of Patrick.
Tried to get some dirt, didn't we?
I tried to get a little bit, not dirt, just like, oh, what's something cool about Paddy that no one knows? And he's like...
Donuts.
Maybe it wasn't anything cool about you.
Nah, I'm not a cool guy, mate.
So you got into surfing, got the girlfriend. Was that 2018? Me and Mon have been together for about 4 years now. So did long distance for a few years. Are you doing this soon or?
Cutting out now, Robbo, man.
Well played.
For all the listeners, I was getting on my knee.
So I did that, and then I do bit of uni, so I do ag business on the side. So I do basically ag, then majoring in finance. Sounds flashy, but that's just my uni degree. So I've nearly finished that. So I ended up getting a bit of interest in the financial sort of aspects. So I started meeting a few people, and so I got interest in that. And then that sort of took my mind off it a bit. And then obviously when you're having a solid year, you want to keep maintaining your form, so you do everything you can to keep playing well. And that was a bad year, like I said before, like the resilience and the group started getting real close that year. Top of the year after, starting to get a real all the young guys coming through together. So. It's still an enjoyable year, but it was definitely tough.
Just on 2019, so just on the individual side of it, was that the All-Australian jumper, so the first jumper, was that the moment when you felt as though you belonged in the top echelon of the league? Because we could see you'd been building, but was that the moment where you genuinely felt like, okay, well, I'm now in this class? Like, when did that moment come?
Yeah, like I always had like a lot of self-confidence and belief that I could match with the best, but that was a pretty special night. Obviously, yeah. It's one of those things you never just want to set yourself individual accolades, but that All-Australian jump is pretty cool.
That's usually
that's something you can't get taken
thing.
away. So then you go there and like there's guys that I played when I was growing up. You'd look up and you sort of like model your game on or like idolise, and then all of a sudden you're next to them, and then that's when you have a feel like you sit back and reflect that time. You look back like you're in a pretty special spot at the moment. You're a country kid growing up. Your dream was to play AFL. You're at a big club. You've had a really good year. Now you're an All-Australian for the first time.
Crazy.
That's when you don't pinch yourself, but you just sort of think like, geez, all the hard work I've done is paying off, and it's always the little sacrifices you make along the way is worth it. That's just only from an individual, and it'd be the same from a team. Like when you start getting that reward from a team, that'd be bloody special too. Like couldn't imagine what winning a flag would be like. That feeling would be unbelievable.
Can't take that away ever. Like obviously you got a jacket like that year. Watching you play, like as I said, you've won 2 now, so you kind of like solidified yourself as one of the best players in the comp. 2019, we saw some things happen on and off field. Obviously, new coach come in. You boys started playing some awesome footy in the back of last year. How's that preseason been in terms of building towards things that you might be special this year? And what's kind of gone on behind the scenes in terms of, you're now co-captain again for the last 2 years in a row.
Yeah, second year.
So how's that going for you? And not predictions, because I'm not a big fan of predictions because anything can happen. How's that been going through preseason and into this year?
Yeah, no, we took a lot of confidence at the back end of last year.
You would have had to, man. You guys are playing some good footy.
Because like even early last year, we were actually playing some decent footy. We just couldn't win the close ones.
Yeah.
And like when you haven't won for a while and you don't get wins, like it's
deflating a little
bit.
It
is. Like it's not like you got to get used to winning. Like and once you learn to win, it becomes easier. And then the back after you actually got a bit of a roll and like sort of the energy at the club in terms of the fans, like the boys, just everyone in general. I hadn't really felt that at the club before, so that was good going to the end of the season. At the same time, we're still coming from a long way back, so it's all good, all this hype and all that. But at the end of the day, like it's just proofs in the pudding. Like you got to get out and play. So.
Well, you got to get the synergy and stuff again because you got new players coming in, blokes who have been injured coming back in. So it's not going to happen like people will see a team on paper and be like, yeah, they should win games. They're going to be this and that. But you actually got to have that synergy and the consistency together. Yeah. And like you guys are all fresh. Like there's the Fishers of the world coming up now. You got the Walsh and all those guys. Like you got Eddie back, Charlie Kerno will probably be back mid-year maybe. You got Mitch McGovern who's still trying to find his straps. Like. Yeah. Is it like the hype and stuff? Like I know, like I see, even though I'm in Brisbane, I see like Carlton this, Carlton's going to be that. Like. I'm kind of on the outside going, man, I hope they can just chill out because you're not going to drink your own bathwater or anything. But when you start getting it all the time, and then like you might, you lost your both preseason games, and now like the media's going, that was terrible. They're going to be terrible, like they're shit, and they're not going to win the games. Like, how do you switch off for that? Like,
you definitely see it, but like that's what you try and tell the young guys. You got to maintain that equilibrium thing. I know a lot of athletes say it, but like from a team, an individual, like you play well, you just all right, you enjoy it. Go back down the middle, you have a stinker. You know what? It's not ideal, but you move on. Like it's not gonna last forever. It's like we've had wind blown up us all pre-season, and like you hear it, but at the end of the day, like it's just people writing stuff. Like it's just based off some things last year. So we're big on that. We know we got to get out there and make it happen. And I could do all the talk and say, we're going to finish this, we're going to finish that. At the end of the day, they'll be writing on what we do. So,
exactly.
We go out there and start winning early, then it's going to be good stuff. But same time, we do go out there and start winning early, then it's also you got to shut out that noise. We finished 16th last year, so you sort of got to be realistic. Like it's you just got to stay. I know it's cliche, but it's week by week. And
mate, that's my bat. Don't use my bat. Get your own bat.
But you went through it last year.
We went through it last year, man.
So last year, like we'll get into round 19 doing the podcast. I'm like,
even he was asking me, like,
mate, you're sitting second in the league. I think we could talk about finals now.
And I was like, nah, man. Like we're literally just taking a week at a time.
Like, man, it's round 20.
We're just consistently improving, which is like it sounds wanky, but like you guys will go through this year. That's what we think. Like you just spoke about then moving on quick from a win or a loss. If we won or lost, our biggest loss was against you guys when you fucking turned the game on its head and balled out hard, and I was just sitting on the wing, twiddling my thumbs, going, I hate this so bad. That's probably the best game I've seen you play, to be honest. You just got to move on. You win, sweet, review it, awesome. You guys did well. Here's a pat on back, here's some RFIs. Let's on the next game by the Tuesday, whatever it is. You lose. Here's what happened. Here's where we can get better. We need to tighten up this spot in your structures and whatnot. Move on. Yeah. So obviously, hopefully, the young boys and the team know it's not just going to happen overnight. Like it's going to be a bit of a slog, and you know the things will come with it. But Patrick Cripps, man, jeez, we've got 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think I think one thing that we were talking about, like, what's been one of the biggest early learnings for you as an AFL captain? Because like the role, obviously, as you mentioned, in 2018, you were kind of doing it anyway, you know, just through the circumstances. But I suppose since going into the role with Sam, I mean, what's been one of the biggest early learnings for you? Because you probably went in there with, okay, I've got some experience, I've done it for a year, but as you know, when it actually happens, you probably go, oh, geez, these are some things here that I wasn't expecting. I mean, what were some of those early learnings that maybe took you by surprise?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of all the off-field stuff. It's not really my go.
Those extra commitments.
Don't really love it. That's just part of it. Like, one thing I know is you got to be organised. So if you're organised, I like being organised as a person now, but I like being organised. So you know the right points to hit with the group, what you got to do at certain times. But I think the biggest learning, and I think what gets the best response is you're one of the boys. You know what I mean? Like everyone thinks, oh, you got to be, when you're captain, you got to do this, you got to do that. End of the day, you get to that position from being one of the boys. The standards you set with your work, how you interact with people. So end of the day, I'm one of the boys. I'm not one of the coaches. I'm one of the boys, and I think if you go out and you have a beer with them, you're just mates with them. But also, once you build that mateship, then they've got that relationship with you. They do something wrong, you can look at them and say, you know what, that's not good enough from a personal or from a performance point of view. They take it on the chin, move on, and they don't take it personally. Like, I think that's the biggest learning. It's just you don't have to be across everything. You don't have to be strict on everything. It's just being one of the boys and having fun first and foremost, and then I suppose work hard, but then you can have the fun. And that's probably the biggest learning.
That's the thing, like, I guess for you, like knowing the line, and when you are that captain and when you're one of the boys, like that's probably the biggest, like the hurdle you have to cross, because when you do give them a whack or have a word to them, like, mate, that's not good enough. That's always the toughest conversation to have. Like, and well, I've never been captain of that, so I wouldn't understand. But being an older bloke, like, I don't really struggle with that part. Is that what some leaders do struggle with? And I know you've had some pretty good captains in your time, and like Juddy, Murphy, those blokes. Like, have you learnt something from them in how to do that? Like,
I think
it come natural.
No, if someone says it comes natural, it's bloody hard to challenge it. I know, good mate. Like, it's not in your nature.
Especially challenging older blokes than yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
but if you take away the personal element of it and say, you know, this is going to be better for the team, it has to be done. You just got to do it. You know, and it's like anything. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get doing it, the better you get at it. So, like, I have no problem now if I feel like someone's not
effort-wise,
or not pulling their weight sort of off field. I'll say, you know what, mate, it's not good enough. Like, we need you to be better. Like, we're setting the standards as a group. You're getting away with that, then anyone can get away with it. So
it's more like cut the head off. This is the person, like, not the person. Like, it's just this is for the standard for the group. We have potentially a big game next week, Richmond. So Richmond Thursday night. We have to talk about it. You haven't beaten them in your career.
Yeah, I know.
The Tigers, I can't stand them. I know you probably can't. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I can't have them at all. I'm sick of seeing them everywhere, to be honest. What's the mentality from the group? This is a big game, so you'd probably be doing, like, you know, your reviews and stuff around about now. How are you feeling for it? Like, regardless of you not playing, if you like all that coronavirus shit, don't worry about that.
Well, let's plan as what's going
on. We're playing next Thursday.
No, look, I respect them a lot. Like, they're bloody good, and what they've done the last 3 years, like, it's been pretty special. It's what every team wants to do. So you obviously respect them, but at the same time, we didn't win any of the preseason games, but we played Collingwood the week before that. We played some really good footy against them. Against the Lions on the weekend, we played a really good first half footy, and then they smacked us. But we know our best is right up there. So we're really confident going in. We'll give it a red hot crack at them. So it's always that first round buzz. Like, let's hope there's 90,000 there, and it's just that's what you love playing footy for. Big crowds.
Pushed them last year as well, man. You pushed them last year. Like, the last few years, you pushed them. Like,
so we're confident. But at the same time, it's proofs in the pudding. So we just got to go there and get it done.
Fuck me, Paddy Cripps. I appreciate you coming in today.
It's worth the trip, man. I told you.
I told you.
Well, I told you after you told me I had to come here.
I was like, I'm sorry, but
I'm here. You know,
we're all here. Shout out to the AFL House for hosting us today. Patrick Cripps, thanks for coming in, man. I want to come and give you the handshake and cuddle, but we'll see how that goes. Good luck with it. Hopefully, I'll play next Thursday night. Hopefully, have another big year, another jacket, another BNF, all the accolades. Hopefully, win some games and play finals, mate, because it's a big time for you, I think, in your career. You can put them on your back and just carry them over the line. So, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate
thanks for having me, guys. Keep ripping through it, eh?
Love it. Absolutely, man. Appreciate it.
That's my sign off. Rip through it. Man, that's time. It's 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm a fucking professional. Oh, when you press record?
Well, hopefully you got some good stuff there, fella.